Okay, doing a little research. I found that there is a test section on this thing, and it's through the dip switches. You just throw the 8th dip switch and it puts it into test, which is what I have done. Silence the phone. And I think it's telling me that the first bank has a bad RAM. I think that's what that means. I'm not exactly sure. I can't find a manual on this game, so I don't really know how this works. But I think that's what it is. And what I have found, if I take a 4027 and each one of these banks, I believe, represents different lines. Like the one bank will have this line, and then the 4 banks make up a section, kind of. Because if I mess with this bank, per se, I'll see lines show up over here, you know. And if I mess with the next bank, then I'll see lines next to it. And this line, these lines right here, are affected by this bank. I'll kind of show that. This is the bank all the way to this side, of course. If I kind of put a 4027 over that, see how see that line that it's making? It's like a different section. So I think this bank has the bad RAM. I think. Yeah, it's not a very good test, to be honest, but I mean, it kind of, I wish it would have like a cross this way and then a cross pattern this way, and it would really kind of hone in where the RAM's at. That would be cool. But yeah. So anyway, I guess I'm just gonna have to, because I don't believe that the fluke will tell us anything. I don't think the fluke talks to these. You know what I can do is I'll look at the schematic and I'll see if the fluke does have a path to and from these RAMs back to the CPU. And if I can see that on the schematic, then I'll know that the fluke can actually read and write to these. How I believe the other games work, and I think this has, you know, the other games being Wizard of War and Gorf and all of those, they have what's called magic RAM. And basically what it is the CPU can write to those. It's almost like a DMA type of circuitry where the CPU writes to the RAM, but it doesn't read from them. So yeah, and the other ones, and my guess is this is the same situation. It's the same type of deal, so who knows. Yeah, but I'll look at the schematic, and I think what I'm going to end up having to do is just remove all of the chips in this row and test them all until I find the bad one, because this it tells me where the row's at. See, I wonder if I purposefully short the output pin on one of these. Come on. Yeah, let's start this thing over. Turn it off. Give it a second. Turn it back on. And it goes through its testing. Okay, so what's that mean? The whole damn thing's bad? Oh, let's try it again. Okay, great. Well, let me figure out what's going on here. Okay, I looked at the schematic and it's the same setup. It's the same system basically as the Wizard of War stuff, to where it just is. It's dumped through these customs and stuff. The CPU doesn't read from these RAMs. It'll indirectly write into these guys through these customs. It's kind of complex magic system they call it, so I'm just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and remove these. I'm going to remove this row of chips. I used my Amtech 559. You put on the legs of the chips, just kind of grease the chips up a little bit with that. Let your gun heat up pretty good. And I'm going to use some air. I don't want to be breathing stuff, And we'll see how this goes. Sounds weird. I don't like how this sounds. I'm going to change the filter in this. Put a new filter in this. You know what else I want to do? I'm going to try cleaning this out a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. I'll be back. I got to take care of this. Okay, I got it going pretty good now. I had to really work at cleaning this thing out. It was bad. It's going pretty good now. Okay, one row out. I like to take a rag and just wipe that flux, and it'll rake that flux into these solder holes so that you're good and prepared when you do your sockets. Just check, make sure all the holes are good and clean. That flux also makes sure that solder doesn't bridge around. You know what we'll do? I'll do with you on here is I'll do a row of. I'm going to put this just kind of off to the back here. Keep it on for now. But I will do a solder a line of these with you. Let you in on a nice secret here. Let me grab my sockets. The key to that gun is it's got to be clean. It has to be clean. You have to be able to. Your FR 300 will come with this, and you need to be able to put that in there nicely and clean that out. You have to clean it, and you can just zip through it like I just did. And then I'll show you how I solder go about these sockets. These will just fall right out if I put it in there and turn it over. So I solder one thing and then drop this in there while it's still molten. Now it's sealed in there. Just make sure it will fall in there first, and then solder one and drop it in just like that. Okay, solder one through hole and drop your socket in. Okay, that's weird. That was very strange how that didn't work the way I was thinking it would. See, that one kind of wants to stay by itself, so I'm going to just let it stay by itself. That one fell right in. And now it's not falling right in. Shit. Move on. That one's a little bit. That one falls right in. Okay. Oh, we gotta fix this one. I gotta fix that one. It's just kind of acting strange. It's the fourth one. That's fine, just let it fall out. Try to redo it. There, that's good enough. Now we will one fell. So we will try to fell again. Okay. sockets. There's removing 8 chips and socketing 8 chips, just like that. Where is my... Okay, there you go. Is that the right line? No, that's the right line. New sockets. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the Inquisitor out. We'll test those guys and see if they're any good. First, there's flux all over these RAMs, so I'm going to give them a quick clean. Just a quick cleaning is all. That tacky flux is just that, it's tacky, so I like to brush it off. And that 559, Amtech 559 is easy to clean. There you go. You guys are all normally just used to seeing me skip ahead to see this is the unpleasant stuff that comes along with doing repairs. Yeah, it's not all just boom, go to the next, the next screen and it's repaired. No, there's a lot of this that goes on. A lot of this dirty stuff that has to happen when doing repairs. I'm gonna go dump this nice dirty junk. I'm gonna go dump that out and I'll be back. Alright, here's 7 of them that I pulled out of the board. This is one that I grabbed out of my stock that I was kind of jumping over some chips. So yeah, these ones are good. This one is not good. There's one that's not good, and that was in that row. Yeah, bad. So, I mean, that's good. We found one that's bad. So let's put a new one in there, put these ones back in the board, and see what we get. Okie doke. RAM. Here's the new one. And it's no more lines. Looking good. It's back to looking good. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. The test gave me an idea of where to look in this row, I think. But it didn't pinpoint. There's 8 chips there, so it didn't pinpoint which one it is. So it's like, okay, just remove them all. And there was one bad one in there, which is, you know, there's no more vertical lines. So that's good. Cool. All right. Excellent. Now, I guess hook up the power to this board and do some sound tests, do a little gameplay test. You know that the thing I cannot do on this is I cannot test the periscope movement. I just don't have that hardware. I don't have that to be able to do that, or the lighting or anything like that. So all I can really do with this, get it to where the inputs, it's coining up, it's playing, it's sounding right, it's looking right. And then the owner has to put it in the game, test it out. If there's problems with the periscope, it could be the board. It could be the 5-bit pot or whatever that the periscope swipes. You know, it could be a lot of, I mean, it could be anything. It could be any of those. So, yeah, a little bit not good. I'm going to be holding on to this board set for a while, though, because I am replacing these. These connector right here, these connectors are getting replaced on this, regardless, because those things are an issue. So, yeah, but, well, we got our RAM problem solved. There's this. That's this. Watch. I'm going to mess around with it now. I just messed around with it and it came back. It's funny, I was just talking about these things and it started freaking out like that. That's these connectors. They're all pushed in and ugly looking and bent up, and they're bad. Yeah, so some weirdness, interference. That could be because it's running on it's on a linear supply. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's because this board is not plugged in. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hook this thing all back up. And dare I put the brackets back on it, because we could have another RAM failure, you know. I don't think I'm going to put the brackets on it yet. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just my power interference, because now it's not doing that little waviness. There's just something with my setup that it doesn't like. The board probably needs to be earth grounded or something. I don't know. Or the monitor does, or something like that. Anyway, let's go ahead, hook this thing back up, check the sounds and all that. Okay, and then once we get the sounds right and everything, I'll go ahead and I'll upload this as part 4, waiting on my parts. And I'm rebuilding this. I'm recapping the linear supply to this. And then I'm going to check all of the parts, make sure all the parts are good. This is a UA 723. I think I will socket that chip. It's a nice ceramic chip, so I'm not going to replace it, but I think I will socket it. And I can't test it. I can't test this really. Actually, could I? I don't know. We'll figure something out. But yeah, that cap's completely detached. So this thing's getting recapped. Cool. All right. Let's check out some sounds, and then we'll go ahead. I'll give you guys this video as part 4. Yeah, that interference, I think I know what it was. This board without the brackets tends to want to lean backwards. So I've got it propped up against this plastic thingy so that it's straight up and down now. And it, you know, it fixed the color. So that was an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and put the camera on the tripod in front of this, and we'll do a little bit. All I can do is shoot the torpedoes from over here because I can't move them. I don't have periscope. So we'll just do that and test out the sounds. And I'll turn off the furnace and check it out. Okay, yeah, furnace just turned off. And I'm going to leave the lights on so that I can see what I'm doing. So I just have to touch a grounded wire to the pins. That's all that's the only thing I can do. So let's go ahead and give it a coin. Try to. There we go. Press start. Okay. There you go. That's how it's supposed to sound. See how it fades out and then goes quiet? What's going on? Okay. I'm terrible. Boy, I didn't hit anything. Let's try it one more time. But you can see all the sounds are good. Now I'm going to do a 2-player game. It sounds great. It's looking good. And we know that that custom chip, the colors are derived from the custom chip. From the data custom chip produces the RY and BY signals. And remember, I had that on my Wizard of War and the colors were good. So I know that the colors are good. So I'm not worried about putting this on a color monitor because I know it'll work. So, yeah. So we're good there. Let's go ahead and do a 2-player game. And remember, it starts when you first fire. I'm going to fire the black torpedo. I think that was the black torpedo. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of strange. That black torpedo looks like it goes like this, but I don't know without having a periscope hooked up. I really don't have any reference of what it's supposed to do. So that might be perfectly fine once it's hooked up to a periscope. Who knows? I really don't know. This is just feedback that I have to get from the. This is just this game with the weird controls. It's not a joystick. It's an analog, a 5-bit analog position. And I really don't have any way of testing that. If I had a periscope here or the game, then I could test it, but that's as good as I can do right now. So I'm going to call this one pretty good for now. Hopefully we don't lose any more RAM. I don't know. I'm going to leave this thing running for a while. I'm going to get it going in attract mode though, so I'm just going to start a game and let the time run out. Pretty cool. But yeah, let's I'm just going to let this thing run for a while and hopefully you find out, shake this thing out for any more bad RAM. Wait for these connectors come in and replace those. Yeah, this thing needs to be shaken down here with these RAM. Just let it run for a while and see if any more RAM fail, and hopefully not. So, all right. Well, I'm going to upload this, and we will see you. Hopefully, we get up here pretty soon. Come on, send a super sub or whatever. That's what it... Yeah. It flashes sub or whatever in the screen before he comes out. Okay. Time's up. Game over. And we are in attract mode. No more credits. I'm going to leave it just like this. I got a high score of 600. This thing may flake out with these connectors. It may flake out on me. I don't know. But I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to head in the house and just do some other stuff for a while. Let this thing do its thing. Kind of shake it down. Shake these RAM down. And we'll see you back with what will be part 5, just kind of cleaning up. And remember I told you that chip over here, data bit 3, was floating, and until I was poking around on it, and I must have made it connect, and then it was good. That was the soundboard problem. I did resolder that. So I made sure that it was soldered good to eliminate that. So, all right, guys. See you on the next part.